This video is brought to you by the Farmer Klein YouTube channel. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment.
Hello everybody, welcome back to another Farming Simulator 22 Map First Impressions video. Today we're going to take a look at
Brzozówka.
But before that, this video is brought to you by DSN005 and Darcy Harris. Thank you for being farm barons. So the map
Brzozówka.
can be found over at the farmingsimulator.com website or the in-game downloadable content menu, and as of the 1.0 release, this map is available for PC players only. This map is making use of a script mod as a required mod in the speed camera, so I do believe that is probably the only reason that we are seeing this as a PC only mod. We may see it because it has real brands like we see here in the preview image, but I gotta wonder if maybe isn't just the fact that it has speed camera, which is a script-based mod, listed as required. Now let's go ahead and read a little bit of the description. Welcome to
Brzozówka.
This map offers 3 farms, a chicken farm, a cow and pig farm, and a chicken and sheep farm, 226 fields including meadows, 240 viable farmlands, 20 collectibles, varied terrain. We can pull water from the lakes. There are 3 new vehicles rolling around in the AI traffic, new painted terrain textures, fuel station, biogas plant, straw purchase, a mine, a sawmill, carpenter, spinning mill, all types of various things that we have on this map. Let's go ahead and load on in. So we are going to use the mods that we typically use when we take a look at these maps. That is additional field info, additional game settings, field lease, field calculator, and precision farming. We also have the speed camera activated. Now, if you load this map up in Farm Manager or start from scratch, you will find that the starting farm is built exactly how you're going to see it here in New Farmer mode, except you do not have any starting machinery and you do not own any land. Now, all 3 of the player farms can be removed once you purchase the land, which I really like that idea, that it starts out pre-built in all play modes, and if you want to get rid of it, you simply can sell it once you buy the land. So as I said, there are collectibles on the map. Oh, there you go. Look at that. There goes one of the new vehicles in the traffic. So as I was saying, there are collectibles on the map, and we have our 20 game cartridges here. Now, I am going to walk a little bit further away from our starting point because the starting point has a nasty electrical hum going to it, and it's a little distracting. So I'm just going to move over here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA. We'll zoom on out. This is a Polish-inspired map, not only by the name, but by the layout of the fields. See, the Polish maps are going to have long, mostly rectangular-shaped fields and a whole lot of viable farmlands. We do have all the standard crop types that we have on Farm Sim 22 available on this particular map. And if we take a look at our lands screen, you will see we own the starting farm here, as well as field 152 and 15. That is $152,000 to buy. Field 15 is $25,800 to buy. We also have a farm located right here, and it includes field 92 and 85. It is $383,000 to buy. And then I believe there is another farm located right here, which is includes field 114 and 195, and it is $259,000 to buy. We do have a biogas plant on the map that can be purchased right here for $105,000. Now let's go ahead and go to our farmland lease screen. And this screen is going to show us all of the viable farmlands, how big those farmlands are, if they include any fields, and then how much those farmlands are going to cost. So we start out by owning farmland 2 and 14. That includes field 152, 174, and 15. And then has a cost of $152,000 and $25,800, as we previously have seen. So I'm just going to go ahead and slowly scroll through this list of viable farmlands. At any point in time, should you so wish, you can pause the video or slow it down to get a closer look at a particular farmland, what fields are associated with that farmland, and then how much those are going to cost. And then here in a little bit, we're going to take a look at the field calculator screen, which is going to show us the actual fields and how big each particular field is on the map. Now you can see that overall, most of these fields are going to be less than 1 hectare in size, or most of these viable farm lands. And I will say that given the fact that a lot of these farmlands are tied to one specific field, I think we're going to find that the farmland size is pretty close to what the farm field sizes are going to be, just because there's not usually an awful lot of land that is included extra on these Polish maps. Now our field calculator screen, which again is going to show us the actual field sizes of these fields. So field 15 is 0.26 hectares, field 152 is 0.27, and field 174 is 0.09. So we'll go ahead and scroll through this. And again, at any point in time, should you so wish, you can pause this and then jump back to the field calculator screen where we scroll through and then compare the field number there with the farmland number that is on that. And then you'll be able to figure out how much each particular field may cost you. So again, feel free to jump through this list should you so wish, but we're just going to kind of slowly scroll on through. I have to say, given the fact that this map has 3 farms, I really think that it is going to be suited well for multiplayer and someone that is really looking to maybe do a small equipment multiplayer with a few other players that can buy some of the other farms. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the generic soil map is going to get applied to the fields. Looking at how the soil map is applied here, we see we have a big swath of silty clay down here to the south, completely covering several fields, as well as a swath of it over here to the north. And then the main center of the map is going to be a combination of loamy sand, sandy loam, and loam. We do have a custom crop counter available here on the map. And if we take a look at our prices screen, you will see that we do indeed have the ability to sell each and every crop that we could possibly buy. Now, there is one little bit of caveat. The olives is only able to be sold at the oil mill. So if you happen to buy the oil mill, as it is a viable production, then you will kind of be stuck with only being able to produce olive oil from your olives unless you go down and put an additional sell point. We do have multiple sell points for all of our animal outputs, as well as our silage, hay, straw, and grass. Then we also have a sell point for every single production item that we could possibly build here on this map that is part of the base game. And we also happen to have the ability to buy bulk lime, as we see right here, the ability to sell our stones at the construction site and sale of stones in the mine. And then we also have one custom production in cartons of milk, because we do have 2 dairies on the map, one of which also has an option to produce cartons of milk. We start with a pretty small list of starting equipment. All of it is owned, none of it is leased. Farm 1 does have chickens, even though it is not listed here. And then we do, well, I would think we would have contracts. I'm not really sure why they're not showing up here. I thought for sure in my initial assessment of the map that we did have contracts available. So contracts, just put a big old question mark here, right? That might or might not be something that is available. We do not own any production chains at the start. As I said, we are using the Pulp Belarus collectibles, so there are 20 game cartridges also on the map. And a quick tab has got us over here at the starting farm. Let's go ahead and take a look at the PDA once again. I'll show you where the starting farm is located down here into the kind of southeast corner of the map. We have fields 152, 156, kind of bracketing our starting farm here. And this is a chicken farm. Now, with respect to can you sell everything on the farm, I did mention that earlier, but I'm going to go ahead and repeat it. You can indeed sell everything. And in fact, the way this is set up on the farm, is if you sell anything, you sell everything. So the only option is selling everything on the farm, which is pretty good. I mean, if you don't want any one building, well, then likely you're not going to want any building. And therefore, it's just a click of one little button to get rid of everything. Now, we do not have a sleep trigger here, which isn't that big of a deal because we can obviously just put our own sleep trigger down. Therefore, we have the ultimate flexibility as to which farm we start at and then which farm we have our sleep trigger located at. But here we have our starting farm. We have our farmhouse, again, minus a sleep trigger. We've got some of our machine sheds located around the farm. I think we've already seen the chicken coop. So we have our chicken coop. 100 chickens are available on this particular chicken coop. And we have our food trough. We have our spawn point for our eggs. We have our grain input. We have our eggs. There we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at our starting equipment. Start out with the Massey Ferguson 5S.145 as well as the 3709AL Massey Ferguson. Then we move on to the Nova 330 harvester that is paired up with the PowerStream 500 grain header. No header trailer. We have the Welger DK 115 trailer as well as the Pottinger Servo 25 plow. We have the Rabe EG39 cultivator as well as the Apalajo MG300 disc harrow. We have the NK25 NS3030 Nordstein seeder, as well as the Aerostar Exact 600 weeder. We have the Q3M front loader, and then we have the pallet fork, and that is pretty much our starting equipment. There are no custom mods or vehicles that are a part of this particular map. And with that, let's go ahead and get set up for our fly around. We'll take a look around the map. We'll come back to the shop, get our Mahindra, and then drive to all of the various points of interest. Let's get a little bit of altitude here and do our regular 360-degree spin as we take a look around. So as you can see, we have quite the varied terrain, quite an interesting mixture of field layouts, and just looking from here, you can easily merge several fields together. If you really want to get into a little bit bigger of agricultural farming, you know, you can merge, let's say, these 3 fields right down here into one field just by kind of get rid of that tree row. Down below, we've got 5 fields that we could possibly merge once again by simply just getting rid of a few trees in that tree row. We have our spinnery down below, and I mentioned a dairy that produces milk cartons. Well, that particular dairy is going to be located right there. So with respect to production being built into the map, we have 13 different production areas built into this map. We have a sawmill, 2 dairies, we have a grain mill, 2 chicken coops, and the chicken coops are not quite what you're expecting as far as production goes. So we will talk about those here in a little bit. We have a biogas plant, a bakery, an oil mill, sugar mill, a tailor, spinnery, and carpentry. Now, as far as, and as we have seen with respect to are things available for sale on the map that we can grow? Yes. That we can produce? Yes. Animal outputs? Yes. So the map is going to get a full point with regard to that. So down below we have our buy point for lime. We also have a stone sell point. We're going to be coming down into the mine here in a little bit when we get to that drive around portion. All 3 farms can indeed be customized, just like I mentioned in the first farm, how you can pretty much sell everything. There is the same setup for the other 2 farms. where if you want to sell one thing, well, good for you. You're going to be selling all of it because it all gets sold basically one fell swoop. So we are coming up here to our second player farm. I believe it is located directly in front of us at this point. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and buy these 2 player farms. That way we'll be able to see those triggers. So down below we have our sheep and chicken farm. We have a soccer field here, or football field here, if you are so inclined. And I have to say, it's rather interesting because we have a massive soccer ball. Then we have a little bit smaller soccer ball. And then we have the more realistically and more expected sized soccer ball right there. Goal! Except I have picked it up. Just check it. There we go. We've scored a goal, everybody. Now up here in the northwest corner of the map, we have the biogas plant. We buy the biogas plant land. We have purchased the biogas plant, and then the triggers will show up. And then right across the street from the biogas plant are the 2 production chicken coops. And as I said, these chicken coops are a bit different than what you may be expecting. Let's go ahead and show you what is going on here. So around the back, we have the interactive trigger to basically purchase and interact with the production point. Let's go ahead and buy the chicken coop for $125,000. And we'll go inside, and we have our dump station located right here. Let's see a little bit further away from that background noise. And I'll show you here on the production screen. The chicken coop is simply a way of taking straw and making manure. So it's not related to chickens at all, really. It's not related to egg production. It is simply a place where you're going to dump straw on the other end of this building. And then you're going to get manure just outside the building there. But I do want to also show you this cool little trigger. I'll just go ahead and click that. And then the little feeding bowls raise up off the ground. Basically, no food for you. Chickens, you too fat. You go home. You no more eat at this buffet. So that's where you're going to get your manure. The other chicken coop is located right here. And then we have a sell point located right in between. Continue on around down to the next player farm. So we've got a guy out here in the middle of the lake fishing. And the next player farm is located right here. We do have a farm silo on this particular farm. And once again, if you sell anything, you sell everything on this particular farm. Going to take a look across the map at this point. You can get a good feel for the rolling nature of the terrain. We have our animal dealer, bale, sell point, located directly below. We do have static animals at the animal dealer. It's kind of a personal preference, a little less than desirable. Would like to see if we do put animals there. Would like to see the neat little trick of making those animated. But you know, you can't have everything, right? So we're going to go ahead and make our way back to the shop. At which time we'll take a look at our various shop triggers. And then get in our Mahindra and drive around to all the various sell points and interactive areas. Because there is a whole lot of them here on the map. We've got a lot of buy points. We've got 13 production areas to look at, amongst a few other things. So here within the woods, in the forest, we have our sawmill production. Like I say, I'll meet you back at the shop. So here we are at the shop. Let's go ahead and show you where we are here on the map. We are just right here beside the biggest field on the map, field 49. Here's the sawmill. We were coming up across kind of this general vicinity when we were last together. And we have our shop. So we have our customized repair, sell, trade, and repaint trigger located right here. And then inside the dealership, we have our shop trigger. Go ahead and get our Mahindra. And say hello to the nice lady that is just pacing. I think she's nervous. I think she's worried she's not going to meet her sales quota for the quarter, but I've tried to basically reassure her that you don't have to worry about it, lady, because I think there's going to be a fair number of farmers coming into the area that are going to be wanting to buy stuff from you. So I'm pretty confident you are going to have absolutely record sales for the quarter. So no need to be pacing around. Jeez, woman. So here we have our vehicle starting point. Vehicle spawn point, I should say. Fairly large area for our vehicles to spawn in at. Shouldn't be too much issue getting a decent amount of equipment in here. And as far as getting equipment out of the shop, not a bad sized gate, but again, a lot of these fields are pretty small. I don't know how big of machinery you might be wanting to play on the map, but overall, I don't think it's going to be too much larger than about 6 meters before you kind of get maybe a little bit too oversized for the map. And here comes another of the custom vehicles that are part of the traffic. JCB vehicle right there. Here's our gas station. Nice static decoration there with a tractor and an implement. Oh, there we go. Look, number 3. There we go. So we managed to see all the custom traffic during this tour also. Oh, it sounds like somebody's got some bass music going on in their car somewhere. That was kind of neat. So here we have the viable sugar mill. So we have our interactive icon at the door. We have our dump station for our sugar beets and our sugar cane right there. And then we have our pallet spawn point at the roll door. Here we have the other dairy that is on the map. Now this is more of a contemporary dairy with respect to what outputs it can take. We have our pallet spawn point. We have our interactive icon there. We have our dump point for our milk, chocolate, and sugar inputs. Then kind of diagonal across the street from the dairy, we have a second kind of workshop trigger located right here. Now we leased this, So all we're going to do is be able to return it, but we do have the repaint option listed also here. So this may be a second dealer trigger. I like the background noises we have here of a working shop. Whoa, there we go. I believe this is our bakery. We have a custom bakery. Let's go ahead and jump out and just validate that with the interactive trigger here. This is indeed the bakery. I like seeing these custom production areas on the map. They fit well within the theme of the map as opposed to just being kind of the plop down base game FS22 production areas. So we have our pallet spawn point around back, a large area for our baked goods to spawn in at. And here we have a grocery sell point. We've seen this particular area on the overview screen. The preview screen, the map load up, so we have our dump station there. Like the rear delivery door being open, showing us that we have the ability to sell our production pallets here. Nice kind of visual representation of what you can sell at the sell point. Oh look, traffic stops. That's a crosswalk, I guess, for the folks, and of course for me. A little bit of park over there. Really well detailed map. Really nicely detailed map. Now, with respect to buildings using the new texture technique, I think we're going to give the map about a half a point. There are buildings here that are using the older texture technique, and then there are buildings that are using the newer technique. This one, for example, is using the new technique with respect to the stonework, which is nice to see. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and take a look at our land painting to take a look at some of these custom paint textures. Wow, let's jump back to the farm and let's get to a field and let's paint away. Paint away. So we have asphalt, concrete, rock, another concrete, third concrete option, fourth concrete option, fifth concrete option, sixth concrete, more concrete, even more concrete, yet even more. Guess what? I bet you we're gonna have even more. Then we have animal mud, asphalt, dirt. These are all here to be standard 22 textures at this point. Forest ground, grass, dry grass, another dry grass, gravel, 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 more gravel, regular rock, and then dirt. Let's go check these out. That was our asphalt, and then we get into the various concretes. Rocks, pavers, bricks, more brick, more brick. These textures are using the new technique. back. These are all basically FS22 textures at this point. Custom textures are already been seen. Yeah, quite the assortment of possible textures that we could put down on the map. Let's tweak through here. We have our construction site. This is going to be a sell point for stones. So they need some stones to fill in with their construction area. Again, a really wonderfully detailed map. We've got background sounds where we have things like the workshop. We've got the construction sounds. We had that audio going on. Got some interesting look here. I would assume that these are the people that were maybe possibly associated with the production of the map. I really don't know what any of that says, but I'm sure someone will be kind enough to let me know. Sell points. This one, let's go ahead and see what this one is called. This one is called Retriever. No, CBA Grocery Store. We're making our way up here to the northwest corner where we're going to find the biogas plant and then, of course, the chicken coop production. So we have the BGA, and once we buy the BGA, we're going to see these triggers come up. Look at that. We got a nice big display board, $9.49. Somebody at one point asked me if you could weigh yourself. It doesn't work. We are weightless. We're ghosts. We have no weight. See, $9.49 without us on the scales, and $9.49 when we're clearly standing on the scales at this point. We have 3 silage bunkers. Let's go ahead and buy the biogas plant so we can see those triggers pop up. $105,000 later. We have chaff 1, chaff 2, chaff 3. Super digestate trigger on the left, our interactive icon. Then we have our dump point for slurry. Then we have our pickup point here for our digestate. Then we have our 2 chicken coops. We could also enter the coops from this side. We have our sell point. As we saw during the fly around, the chicken coops are really just a way of taking and making manure out of straw. So straw goes in the building, manure gets produced and is available here to be pulled out with the elevator or conveyor belt. Whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. Go ahead and do a little first person driving here, make our way down south. doubling back just a little bit here, but it's all good. There's the construction site that we took a look at. And now we are back into fresh territory. You see the lay of the land here. A nice general idea of how ebbs and flows. Like I said, I think this would be an excellent multiplayer map for maybe 3 people, maybe 4 people. Someone with the biogas plant that's maybe looking to play with some smaller sized machinery. So here we are at our cow and pig farm. Wow, that is some slow doors to open. Okay. Nice lights. So here we have our cow area. We have our milk. We have our slurry point. Our lights. Oh, that's nice. We can turn on and off the markers. So we have our dump point for our straw. We have our dump point for our slurry. We have our cow buy point. 50 cows in this particular building. That looks like a secondary slurry point. Interesting. We have our farm silo. This looks like it could be a spot for you to put down a silage clamp. Kind of interesting that it's not one there already. Oh, you know why, people. I get it. I get it. So this is the pigs. This is the cows. That's the pig food trough. That's the cow food trough. I'm wising up to these tricks. Now, let's see if we can find the pig buy point. Did we manage to hide it? I didn't realize it. Here it is. Right there, 80 pigs in that particular building. Let's go ahead and take a look at our animal screen again. So we have our pigs, pretty standard pig feed requirements, pretty standard cow requirements. We still have to go ahead and take a look at our chicken and sheep farm that we kind of skipped over when we were going across the top part of the map, but that's okay. We'll just jump up there right now, actually. So we came across here. We had the additional shop. We should have went up this road to get to the chicken and pig farm, which is located right here. So we should have come up this road right there. So again, we have a nice farmhouse, but again, the farmhouse isn't something that we can make use of without putting down a placeable trigger. Here we have our farm silo. So we have our dump point and our fill pipe. What do we got to do here? There we go. Get a load of that. So now we have our dump station and our fill pipe. 12 o'clock. We got all kinds of bells ringing here. We have 85 sheep in the pen. Hey, buddy, you don't need to stay standing right there, man. So we have our roll point. We have our food trough for our sheep. Then we have our chickens. 145 chickens. We have our food trough. Now I'm looking around. Maybe it's under this awning. That's where our eggs. Here we go. Eggs are surely going to spawn here. And that is all 3 player farms. Let's jump back. There we go. Big field 49. Couple pockets of trees, a pond or so in the middle there. Let's double back because that's where our sawmill is. Through a little bit of a swampy area. There we have our sawmill. We have our wood chip point. We have our pallet spawn point for our planks under the shed. We have our dump point for our logs. We have our log cell trigger. Let's head on back this way. A couple few areas here down in the southwest, and then we'll make our way back across the map. We got these concrete slabs. Concrete slab roads. Let's take a look and see where we are. We're here about field 79. We have our cell point. Pair of cell points, actually. We have a cell point for our root crops. Then we have a grain cell point located inside the building there. See that trigger icon right there? We also have corner markers, which is good to see. Back down the road we go. Oh, he's got an emergency, but he's behind a farm vehicle. What's up with that? Right, what's up with that? Okay, we got it further back. Got sidetracked by the police behind the farm vehicle. We have a road leading down to our bale sell point and our animal dealer. Really neat detail with the bales kind of falling down off the stack there. So here we have the bale cell trigger. Then we have our animal dealer. Let's make our way across the southern part of the map as best we can. Doesn't look like there is really a direct road over there. Might have to make a few interesting turns. Down the hill we go. I really like how this map works. We've got jets flying through the sky, leaving contrails. Very well done with respect to just the overall ambiance. We'll use that fancy word, ambiance. That's about the extent of my fancy word vocabulary. Road. Yeah, weave and wind. There's a road everywhere. Really well done. Just looking at the PA, trying to figure out where we've been, where we have not been. Little lakes, little rivers, multiple towns. And here we have the carpentry. We have our log sell point, our plank drop-off point. Then we have our spawn point for our furniture. Just going to go the back way over to the next area. right here. Here we have a sell point. We made our way across the map now. We are here at 182, south of 182, a serial buy point. And then at this point, we're going to come up and around. So this is where we started out our farm. We're going to come up and around and end down here. So we're going to come back. This is where we all started, but we didn't take a look at the oil mill. So we're going to go past the oil mill. We're going to go to the grain mill, the inn, further around here to the grain elevator. We got to go down here to the mine. Still a lot to see on this map. Still a lot to see. I have to say, recently, the quality of farm sim maps has really seemed to get ratcheted up. Which is a very good thing. It means that the map authors are really kind of getting into their stride at this point. Somehow we've managed to not speed through any of the speed traps, wherever they might be. And here we have the oil mill. So our interactive icon, we have our dump grate. And then our pallet area. Is not marked, but I'm guessing it's going to be right here at these roll doors. Would really like to have seen it get marked there. A little bit of disappointment because that is going to ultimately affect the overall score unless we find it somewhere around here. No, I think that is a little bit maybe of an oversight. Everything else has been so well marked on the map. To have that missing feels like maybe a little bit of an accidental oversight than anything else. I think over time the traffic is going to really get backed up over those slower moving vehicles. So here you have the grain mill. And the grain mill is a really cool area because we can actually go inside of the grain mill and explore. So we've got another level up. We've got a couple levels down below. You can go in and just kind of explore around. We're just going to not bother with that for brevity's sake, but we have our interactive icon right there to buy the grain mill. We have our dump station in our pallet spawn point. Oh, check that out. That is neat. Giant spoon and fork sign for the win. There we go. This is really cool. Man, if we were going to rate this map on coolness, it would be up there pretty high. Sadly, coolness is not a factor in our scoring. But if it was, I don't know how many cool points it would get, but they get a lot. And it's time to make our way to get down to the quarry. See if we don't drive off the edge of the quarry. Oh, look at that. Look at that coolness. Who does not like, right now, put it down in the comments below, who does not like a map with a good fork? What's wrong with you? I mean, it takes skill, it takes talent, it takes artistic fortitude, of which I am missing all three. Gotta go through a reverse scale. Good thing we still weigh 948 kilograms. I wonder if our fuel weighs. I wonder if we weigh less without fuel. Oh, what is this? That's neat. Uh-oh, a little narrow gap. Rock on overhead. Whoa. Uh-oh, did we? Yeah, oh man. Oh man, oh man. You didn't make it through here, did you? No ice road truckers for you. Oh, let's keep on moseying down. Ah, we're going. We've done it. I got sidetracked looking at the drill. We've done it, people. We're stuck. We diff locked her and we got out. Oh, this road's getting rough. Someone needs to come through here with the grader. Man, if you don't like to play this map, that's fine. Just get in and drive around it. You can see the road up there. I hope these guys pay good money for their rock. Come all the way down here with a load of rock. You're going to want to get paid good money. And here we are. So we have our rock sell point right here. And then we have our lime bulk buy point. Right over here. We have a custom lime icon. Nice to see. Now, let's take a little bit of a shortcut. Let's see how much this 460 liters of lime costs, but you know what? Really, I wanted the extra weight so I was a little bit more stable coming up out of here. This is pretty neat. Down in there. As you get further up out of the mine, and now we have a lot more foliage, we have a lot more shrubbery, grass going. The way our truck leaving. Now we have 1,500 pounds. Like a pound a liter. Or a kilogram a liter. A little more than that, maybe. I don't know. Here we are, up out of the mine, out of the quarry. Out of the danger zone. We are over here at the grain mill. I have to say, if there was a Polish map I was going to play, this would be it. For sure. So we have a scale going in, scale going out. Dump station. And then we loop around. Very well done setup. Scale going in, weigh going out. So you know how much product you have dropped off. $20-ton bridge. Be careful with your heavy machinery. Here, as I said, we had the dairy that makes the milk cartons. So we have the pallet spawn point, we have our dump station, and we have our interactive icon for the milk. We have our spinnery here. So we have the wool sell point, and then we have our production spinnery in the other building. So unloading types wool, cotton, fabric, and clothes. So this is the sell point area. Then in the other building, we have our production. There we go, hall 2 production. Take it that's what that sign says. We have our dump point, wool, cotton, and fabric. We have our interactive icon for the tailor. We have our clothing spawn point. We have our fabric spawn point. And up top, we have our interactive icon for the spinnery. Kind of neat how we have two different productions in the same building that basically serve a unified purpose. So let's run down our score metric one more time. We're giving the map a full point with respect to having 13 built-in productions. We're giving the map a full point for having the ability to sell all of our base game production items, animal outputs, and crops that we can grow. We are going to be giving the map a full point with respect to within the farms be customized, because we can indeed basically sell everything on the farm if we want. In fact, right here is the starting farm, so we can just go right here, sell farm 1. Yes. Oh, we gotta get rid of our animals first, but yes. You see everything that highlights, everything that's changing color basically is going to be demolished when we are selecting it. Buildings where appropriate using the new texture technique. I know I said I was going to give the map a half a point. I'm going to bump it up and give the map 3/4 of a point there because we just have so many buildings that do have some level of the custom texturing going on. So many custom buildings using that custom texture level. And we are going to knock the map back just a little bit with respect to the interactive areas being clearly marked. We were missing, sadly, the markers over at, what was it? Oh man, I don't even remember what it was. Over at the bakery, I believe it was, with respect to where the pallets spawn in at. So we are going to knock the map back just a wee little bit there. 1/4 of a point. So overall, we're going to give the map a score of 4.5 out of 5. Not shabby in the least, given the type of detail that we have here on the map, the number of production areas, the number of sell points, and the number of fields and such. So here we have our wood chip, biomass, heating plant, sell point, and log trigger. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below with respect to this particular map. I like it a lot. If I had unlimited time, I would probably be putting some time down on this map myself. And until next time, happy farming. There we are, full circle. That's where we started.